approaching 4 minutes into the first quarter. It's the second time these two teams have met on the campaign, first of which was all the way back on November the 24th. As things get discussed here, this is a crucial time to try and control momentum in this game area.
Absolutely. When it comes to men's OCAA basketball, JP, speed is the #1 thing, but getting momentum is another thing. Shifting things to go your way. You have to slow the game down in some way, shape, or form, and the rest of the stuff will come to you.
That's the game referred to there. 107-89 was the score. Humber outscored St. Clair 32-20 in that third area.
And keep in mind, this was the first game without David Gomez Jr. And like today, the Saints are without Gomez Jr., but Josiah Deere, a near double-double from him, 19 and 8, 0-2-22. Daquan Cathcart with 20. But again, that third quarter made a difference as the Humber Hawks pulled through and what was in the middle of their 13-game winning streak.
And remember, they started with 4 straight losses, the Hawks did on the campaign. As that pass sails its way all the way to the glass off the tip. 6:30 to go in the first quarter. On the floor for the Saints, Josiah Deere, Glenn Lewis, Paris, Hetty, Harmon, Showell, the 5. Harmon dribbles it off to Willis. Paris stolen away. Moved up by 0-2. 0-2 going coast to coast off the front of the rim. Taken back up by Petty. Given a Harmon from the baseline, yes!
You know, it's quite interesting how they can control themselves in mid-air and finish real strong, but good for Harmon controlling the glass on there.
And a whistle called, and we're going back the other way.
Look at Harmon just filling in the gaps of the Humber defense and finishing strong.
So St. Clair takes possession on the floor for the Hawks. Meanwhile, Francis lined up alongside 0-2, rounding out the 5. Cathcart lined up alongside Larja. Boas Paris gets the point over the mismatch. Morgan rounds out that 5, but had the size mismatch Willis Paris did down low.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how they match up. Anytime you get Glenn Willis Paris in the paint, you better watch out.
Willis Paris helps deflect that shot out of bounds. 11 still on the shot clock. Or I see the coaching staff making adjustments here for this play. Morgan spinning by Harmon, can't get it to go. Stolen away on the outlet pass. Taken back inside. It's good. Larja. That breaks up an 8-2 run for St. Clair. Harmon pulls up on top of the green arc. No good. Picked up by 0-2 on the rebound. Bullet pass once again along. Francis. The drive, the pass to the corner, outside from deep, no good. The Hawks a 34% shooting team from three-point land this season. Ball tapped out of bounds off the Hawks. Substitutions coming in, Davis back in, Jawan Lynch also comes in. Their substitution sees Alex Petronis, the third-year guard from Toronto, also in. Davis, pass out to Penny, intercepted by Petronis. Given back down. Larja and turn back over. This is not the start either side, I think, expected into this Bombers share timeout by St. Clair.
Yeah, both of these clubs trying to maintain their speed and everything else, but when you keep on going for those bullet passes, both of these clubs keep on reacting defensively. That causes the turnovers and the transition game.
Let's talk about the importance of the OCAA West coming into today. The standings very tight. St. Clair comes in just a half game back behind Redeemer. They beat Sheridan yesterday to bump them into a tie for third with the Humber Hawks, Aaron.
Absolutely, and for Humber, they could do no worse than fourth place at this time. St. Clair could do no worse than sixth place, but a lot of teams are determining their fate today. I mean, look in between them. The Sheridan Bruins are 13-5. They're still into this game, but again, the top four, that's what's going to come down to.
And remember, when it comes to this matchup and those standings, they're playing for the rights for crossover games. If you have a top 3 seed in the West, you'll host a crossover game against the East Division's 5 through 7 seeds. That can be crucial for a chance to go to the provincial championships.
And that's right. That action will continue in a couple of weeks from now in the weekend of the 29th. So it's going to be a big opportunity to see who will advance to the provincials over in Lambton this year.
Davis no good on the shot, meanwhile, for St. Clair just past halfway to the first quarter. Again turned over by the Hawks. And ball control, a major issue for both sides so far. Samuels comes back to the game along with Khaled Ishmael. On the floor for St. Clair, Lynch, Davis, Shallow, Petty, Deer, the 5. Petty. Given to Davis. Deer moves around the outside. Lynch looks to the other side. Shallow. 10 on the shot clock. Off to Petty. Petty sizes up. Driving. Doesn't draw the whistle. Lynch picks it up. 1 on the shot clock. Chucks it up and makes it.
What's with all these tough shots this past weekend, JP? Lynch was triple teamed and found an opening near the middle and just floated up in there as the shot clock went out.
Well, these are some of the best teams we've seen all weekend in the OCAA this season. Outside, it's good from O2. O2 left wide open, stolen away nearly, whistle called. Foul goes against Davis to prevent the drive from O2.
One more look at this, I believe. But Jawan Lynch just double teamed and just found a crack to let the shot go. And that's what it comes down to. You have to keep your head up and pay attention to the clock.
Now a foul called, this time offensive foul. And the Humber Hawks coaching staff already calling their defensive schemes after this.
Just a good look for Petronas, but right before that there was a charge taken.
Foul goes that time to Ishmael. Harmon can't get it to go. Down low, Javante Mitchell. Second chance, pass back out to Lynch. Still 8 on the shot clock. Mitchell off the front of the rim. Picks it back up, inbound coming up from the baseline. Foul comes from Harmon, however, on the play. Harmon's first personal. Second team foul. 2 team fouls apiece so far with about 3 minutes to go in the first errand.
With all that aggressiveness, JP, I'm surprised neither team is over the limit.
Down low again, no good. Deer gives it off to Shallow from deep. Off the rim. Picked up by O2. Moved on up by the Hawks inside, rejected. Deer, through 3 reaches, finally gets a call. Foul going against Cathcart. First personal for him, 3rd team foul.
And this is another Humber possession as Cathcart trying to fight through and finish it real strong. You see a reach-in foul. And apparently there's a technical foul on the Humber Hawks.
Cathcart trying to plead his case to his coach at the moment, but you don't want a technical, especially in the early portion of a game like this. Josiah Deer will now go to the stripe to shoot the technical.
Apparently there were some words exchanged between Cathcart and one of the players on the St. Clair bench.
Substitution, no Bailey into the game.
And we see in less than 30 seconds, JP, 2 quick team fouls on Humber.
Deer makes the technical. 11-7 now the score with under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And those are the type of plays which can shuffle momentum.
Yeah, but early on during the game.
Harmon. Give it to Lynch. Cutting back to Hall from deep off the front of the rim. Lynch picks it back up. Swung to Harmon, can't get the pass, out of bounds it goes. Off of St. Clair's touch, Humber takes possession.
And now Humber has to find some way to get back into this game. Usually I would say dish it out inside, but you have some real confident shooters from the mid-range game. Get that going on and then get yourself closer to the basket. But the most important thing is regain composure. You have 14 fouls already. You don't want to go over the limit with 2:26 left to go.
Petronas calling for the screen. Gets it from Bailey. 3 on the shot clock. Baseline leaner, no good. And a whistle called again, this time of the reach after the rebound. Shia Deer with the basketball.
It's a crying shame too because he had good positioning down the basket.
You can see right there reaching in on the rebound attempt from O2. And to the stripe goes O2.
And honestly, it's about time the Humber Hawks get their just due going to the free throw line because they've been scrapping and chomping at the bit right down to the basket.
Both teams have, really. Physicality level has been high today. 11-9 now the score after the free throws. Harmon gives it off to Hall. To the corner from deep, Deer. Yes! Josiah Deer with the triple.
He went 6 of 9 last night of his 32 points.
Indeed. Poked loose again. Deer on the fast break. Puts up the layup for the bucket. Josiah Deer makes it a 16-9 lead for St. Clair. Lambert Cador with the hard screen. Back outside. Bailey. Swung to O2. 7 on the shot clock. O2 puts it in with the right hand.
I'm glad that he used his body and went straight up and was able to control the ball with the wide hook. That's just great basketball.
Especially with Mitchell coming in there for the block attempt. Deer to Harmon. Harmon driving, can't get it to go off the rim. Taken up by Petronas. Petronas sidesteps to the right, again no good. Second chance, back to O2, outside. Lambert Cador drops it and gets the whistle.
4-point play coming up, and again, that's Josiah Deer overcommitting, using his speed, but not limiting his power, and that is right on the wrist. 4-point play coming up.
And that one has the chance to bring to a 1-point game. Davis coming in for Mitchell. Hold on, they're going to bring Hall to the stripe.
I don't get what happened there.
I believe there might have been something down low, potentially, as Hall drains the free throw. They give the foul to Petronas. And that puts St. Clair in the bonus.
So it's an interesting sequence. The basket counts, but there was another Humber foul which prompted St. Clair to go to the free throw line.
Yeah. As it was up in the air. Ishmael. Swung around under a minute to play in the first quarter. Samuels. Back outside. Lambert Cador. Driving.
Oh, yes.
Contact this time. They get the N1.
Continuation is a beautiful thing. Let's run the tape back. Lambert Cador had the positioning at the top of the key, met Lynch and Hall. Hall tapped him up right there, flipped it up right there, and a beauty.
Lambert Cador definitely pumped up right now. Entered today averaging 1.6 points per game on the season. Can't make the free throw as the ball goes out of bounds.
Lane violation from Humber.
And this is going all the way back towards the other end. Again, another foul.
Lambert, Alex Petronas won with the foul.
His second.
As Humber's over the limit.
It's just been that type of a quarter all of a sudden where it's been grinded out, physical, and the fouls are starting to pile up.
Both of these clubs not shooting near their 90 points per game average, but you have to expect that. The defense, like last night, has been superb.
At the line is Dalen Davis, by the way. Had that stellar game last evening, as talked about. Couldn't make the second free throw, however. Stays a 3-point lead. Samuels gives it off to Morgan. Morgan driving in off the front of the rim. Davis gives it down to Hall. Driving over two defenders. Can't get it to go. Here comes Samuel in the response. Back, no, passed out of bounds. Went to a fan instead in the front row.
St. Clair could look for one more shot here. A 3-point lead.
Shot clock is off. Hall. Backing up Lambert Cador. 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Willis Paris the screen. Davis. Pass to Lynch instead. Off to Willis Paris. From the post in traffic, no good. The St. Clair Saints lead a grinder of a first quarter. 19-16 after 10 minutes of play. Back after these messages, you're watching Weed Eater Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Mont's On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Welcome back to Windsor, Ontario for more coverage of OCAA men's basketball, where the St. Clair Saints lead 19-16 over the Humber Hawks. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders in the Mont's On Time Express broadcast booth. Aaron, what are your thoughts after that first quarter? Because both teams shot around 30%.
Well, I thought it was a defensive battle to begin things, but looking at the free throw line, you see a sheer difference. St. Clair shooting 80%, free throw wise for the Hawks 66.7. But you know what? It's a different story when it comes to shooting, when it comes to offensive options. I'm looking at the turnovers right now. Combined total of 15. 9 for Humber, 6 for St. Clair. But I think it's all because both of these clubs trying to establish some sort of hurry-up offense, but they keep on throwing the ball away. So again, when it comes to the direction of this game, neither team has gained control.
Indeed here, as the Hawks have control of the ball to start the second quarter. They swing it around the outside. Morgan with it. Back outside, back inside to Samuels. Samuel spins in the post, getting it to go.
And the circus shots continue for the Humber Hawks. Coming into this quarter, JP, only 12 points were scored from the bench compared to the 16. And we look at the updates. The Humber Hawks prevail against the St. Clair Saints 3-1. Humber now 14-3. St. Clair drops to 13-4.
Outside shot, no good. Second chance, also no good, but draws the whistle. And the bunny ears popped up from the officials. This is why.
Take a look at Dalen Davis coming right at your screen for a second chance putback like he did yesterday. There's just too much of Humber's body taking in Dalen Davis.
That foul going against Samuels for his first personal. First team foul of the quarter. Off to the bench, Samuels goes. But again, Davis had that stellar double-double yesterday. Was a huge part of the Saints' victory.
23 points, 15 rebounds, the majority of them coming from the offensive glass, and that was key for the St. Clair Saints to prevail and upset, if anything, as they defeat the OCAA gold medalist from a year ago.
Yeah, they beat the 4th-ranked team in the province and 15th nationally. The Sheridan Bruins yesterday, for those who missed on Weed to Drew Productions Saturday night. Then is Lambert Cador, meanwhile. 3-point lead for St. Clair, approaching 1 minute into the second. Sizing up. Martin with the mid-range jumper, yes.
And that's a trademark of Miquel Martin for those who remember him from his University of Windsor days. This guy could explode, and this guy could pop up with a mid-range J.
And now a senior, a 5th-year senior with this squad. Petty off to Hall. 9 on the shot clock. Driving in, loses the ball. They say it's off the St. Clair touch. Substitution once again for Mohammed. Mohammed, the man in.
Another look at the play.
Yeah.
Miles Hall thought the ball was stripped from his hands.
Yeah, instead went right off his right hand. Off his knuckles, in fact. Morgan from deep. Off the front rim. Picked up by Willis Paris. Given off to Davis. Davis looking for separation, given to Shawo. Swung around to Hall. Back to Willis Paris, again from deep, off the front rim. Tap back out to Petty. Shawo in the corner, pulls up. Gets it to bounce in.
For a second there, I thought it was going to go right out, but the same Shawo getting the lucky roll.
And Shawo, the first-year player, can definitely make you pay from deep. Down low, Willis Paris with a block. Second chance stripped away. Penny draws the whistle. And Martin called for the reach.
Well, first off, a round of applause to Glenn Willis Paris for holding his ground down at the other end. Now St. Clair has another opportunity with under 8 to go in the half.
Well, Martin, again, the first personal back onto the floor goes Harmon for Davis. Just past 2 minutes into the second quarter here in Windsor, 24-20, St. Clair the score. Hall outside. Again, no good. Taken back up by the Hawks. Morgan spins by Harmon, yes sir.
And that's another player you want to put a star on because Jalen Morgan has the body and the power to go inside 9 times out of 10.
Petty tries to cut back in. Harmon watches as Hall steps on the line. Humber Hawks possession once again.
And how about one more look at Jalen Morgan. Beautiful finger roll. That's class right there.
That spin move too to set up the finger roll. Going from the left hard to the right. Martin. Moved around the outside, Morgan. Gives it off to Mohammed. Mohammed, a quiet day so far from deep. Morgan shoots it from deep. Off the rim. Picked up on the rebound by Ishmael for the fresh 14. Ishmael back around to Francis. Back to Morgan. Morgan gets it to drop.
4 quick points for Jalen Morgan as he's been having a terrific season so far.
Petty cuts in, no good. Willis Paris, count it, and the foul. And one opportunity for the big man.
Too much aggressiveness down at the paint when Glenn Willis Paris was just ready to go to the basket. Barber's chair timeout forthcoming with a second chance opportunity, and you could see Khalid Ismail trying to do too much and trying to stop Glenn Willis Paris.
Again, a Barber's chair timeout called by the Humber Hawks. 26-24, St. Clair is the score here in Windsor. Aaron, your thoughts?
Really good start at the second quarter for St. Clair. They're using their bigs. You're finding players like Miles Hall creating openings, and then Glenn Willis Paris not so long ago following through with those shots. And remember, he started off from the backcourt. But for Humber, on the other hand, they have to find some way to stop St. Clair and stop Willis Paris.
The St. Clair Saints Athletes of the Week were Dalen Davis, by the way, for the men's squad. Women's basketball, Nicole Tam. Well deserved, especially for both of those.
Absolutely, Nicole Tam, the senior who just had a ceremony for her in the ladies' game, and for Daylon Davis, again, a fella that got a double-double the last game, and then a good outing against Canadore a weekend ago. Well deserved.
Indeed. But you mentioned the scoring with Morgan. Specifically, you talked about that in the previous plays. To swing back there, he joined George McNeil as the only Humber players to score 300-plus points in a season twice.
And
that was last night.
That's worth recognizing, honestly. Despite the loss, there's still a win, especially for Jalen Morgan. Updates OCAA men's volleyball. The Hawks leading the Saints 14-4 in the first set of play.
Good start for the Hawks in volleyball action. Substitutions see Khalid Adam come into the game. With it is Mohammed. Mohammed entering today just 2 3-pointers shy of setting a new single-season record for Humber. Ball was poked out of bounds, stays Hawks possession. Keep an eye on the man in the number 3 jersey. From beyond the arc, to say the least. With it is 0-2. 0-2, can't get it to drop either. Given off to Hall, swung back around. Harmon with it. Shallow. Cuts in, gets blocked. Adam on the rejection.
They're saying it was goaltending, but it wasn't on its way down. It was just at the peak.
Indeed. 0-2 to Mohammed. Mohammed drives it in. Pass into traffic. 0-2 can't handle it. Mohammed comes back, can't roll it in. Hall on the rebound, trying to get it away from 0-2. Does indeed. Draws contact. Adam on the foul. So the Qatar native caught on the whistle.
Seeing a lot of broken plays here this afternoon, and you see Miles Hall almost prevailing on that. 0-2 right on his backside, and right in front was Khalid Adam.
To the stripe once again, Miles Hall. And how do you feel Hall has developed in his time with St. Clair so far in his first year?
And you know, I think he improved each and every game. He knows what shots to take, what shots not to take. I think I see a little bit more of David Gomez Jr. in him. We're seeing him taking it to the basket more. He's only shooting threes when it's necessary, so he's improved his offensive game. Defensively, I'm seeing him be involved more and more on the boards, so he keeps on improving day after day.
Mohammed with the ball meanwhile. 1 for 2 at the trip was Hall. Morgan puts up the contested jump shot, drains it.
Right in the grill of Jalen Harmon, too. 2-point game.
Backing off is Hall, calling the offense. Given off to Dallas Aikens. Aikens has it poked away, stays St. Clair possession. Their substitution, Lambert Cador coming in. Joanne Lynch also coming in. Here's a look at the jump shot.
Jalen Morgan creating enough separation on the right side and popped it.
In live action, Lynch chucks it up and drains it. Had 3 on the shot clock.
And that 100-yard stare to Humber afterwards.
Ball tapped out of bounds, stays Hawks possession. 5-point lead for the Saints, just past halfway through the second quarter. Mohammed, given off to Lambercador. Pick set once again by Adam. Lambercador leans back and drains it. Showell now charges it back up. Chucks it up from 3 off the front of the rim. Lynch trying to jump for it instead. Rebounded by Morgan. Jump pass to Lambercador, sets up the bucket. What a sequence the past few moments. St. Clair feeling the pressure of the double team now. Harmon to Aikens. Back to Harmon. Driving. Loose is the ball. Morgan takes it up. Through the reach. Back outside. 0-2. Lambert Cador from deep. Yes, sir.
Woo.
Humber retakes the lead, 33-31.
They've been on an interesting scoring run.
Been one of those where it's been a mix of grind it out and big defensive plays like that. Mohammed from deep. No good. Second chance is good from 0-2. Bombers chair timeout call the last of the half for St. Clair. And that was a Bombers chair timeout coming, Aaron, with the run Humber had developed in the past minute.
We saw it coming a mile away. It all started with the Lambert Cador 3. Nothing but nylon. And then on the other end, good eyes from Mohammed. Took his time to recompose himself for the 3, but look who's coming in right in your screen to put it right back in. That's just perfect.
And remember, in the third quarter, Kevin 0-2 had 11 of his team's 21 points in that buzzer-beating loss to the Lambton Lions. Coach Segan discussing things with his team, down 35-31 to the Humber Hawks. What do you think was said in those huddles here, Aaron?
I think for St. Clair, it's a matter of getting a body on somebody, and you have to be aware of who's guarding you too, because this Humber Hawks team is shifty, forcing turnovers, going for the steals and everything else. So for St. Clair, they have to be aware of who they're passing it to, and if they have to slow down, by all means do so. Humber, keep swinging the ball around and keep looking for nice plays. Fozi Muhammad may be the guy you give it to for the long range, but when you have big guys in there like Morgan and Lambert Cador in there, and use that to your abilities.
Boas Parrish, meanwhile, uses his abilities to drive in. Moved off the glass. Goaltending is the call this time on Morgan. And the signal from Carter is indeed count the basket.
Good positioning from Morgan, but just giving up 2 points.
Hawks look to spread the offense. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the first half. Adam trying to give it off. Gives it to Mohammed. Shallow on the defense. Mohammed on the shot. Off the front of the rim. Willis Paris and Shallow rush it down. Willis Paris gets the bucket of drop.
Simple give and go with Willis Paris as your output.
Lambert Cador, the quick shot, draws the late whistle. And the Hawks immediately took advantage of the get-back defense.
Yeah, but look at the fast break opportunity. Finished off with Willis Paris. Simple shot off the glass.
Second personal against DeLong Lynch. Just the first team foul, though, of the quarter. As substitutions come into the ball game, once again, it's Larja, the Rexdale, Ontario native, coming in at one of the forward spots. But Lambert Cador with an impressive game today. Makes the free throw up to 12 points, make it 13 on the game.
Hey, love it, love it, love it.
Can't make the second, however. Davis on the rebound. 1 point lead for the Humber Hawks. Stolen away again by Mohammed. This time takes it to the alley-oop for the stop.
And 0-2 finally got his revenge off that alley-oop.
0-2 saying, I can put in some nifty style points too. Willis Paris gets it in the post. How will St. Clair respond? No good on the shot. Larja gives it off on the pass. Lambert Cador can't keep it in bounds. Harmon and Ahmad coming into the ball game.
How about that alley-oop? And it was just off the steal from Mohammed once again, fishing off the transition. Dalen Davis has to duck, say, look out. Kevin 0-2 throwing it down.
Who's here?
Some people may be wondering, where's the cape? That might be a dunk contest type of dunk. NBA dunk contest, of course, yesterday.
Much better than what we saw last night, but anyhow.
Anyway, St. Clair setting things up. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Davis spinning, misses Ahmad on the pass, goes out of bounds.
And again, it's a matter of doing too much when you're right down near the basket. If you're close to the bucket, get a quick 2 points in.
0-2 now getting the chance for a breather. Samuels coming in. Hold on 1 second as they discuss things with some of the substitutions. Ishmael and Samuels is indeed in. 0-2 is out as they sort out who's on the floor. For Samuels, he moved to second place all time for Humber, player in a single season of rebounds with 181 last night. He gives it to Muhammad. Muhammad steps back from deep. Again, no good. Shao on the glass. He takes it up. Shao off of Willis Paris's hands and to the stands. And again, outlet pass leads to a turnover.
Humber has the advantage in speed. St. Clair has to slow things down right now.
90 seconds to go in the first half. 38-35 Hawks. Morgan on the pick and roll. Back outside, Laria. Back to Morgan. Morgan from deep. No. Shao again on the glass. Double teamed. Given to Samuels for the steal. Mohammed, the behind the back pass, sets up the points for Ishmael. Humber with one of the larger leads of the game so far. While Ahmad drives it. Poke from behind, keeps possession. Smothered by Samuels. Double teamed away. Diving for the ball is Morgan. Stolen away, stolen back. Reached back in for the foul.
For those who are wondering what just happened, we just saw a great display of hustle. This was from the last possession, which finished off with the Ismail reverse. But my goodness, did Humber take advantage of the corner?
St. Clair is back into the bonus. Petty is to the stripe on the reach. By the way, Samuel's on his second personal. As Petty makes the first of two, my goodness, Samuels was smothering that whole possession as you were talking about.
Well, that's what you need to do when it comes to defense. When you got that double team, when you have that depth too, you use all that depth as best you can and smother somebody right down in the corner. Because I keep on saying after every telecast, when somebody's down in the corner, that's your perfect opportunity to smother somebody with a ball.
And in turn, there's a chance you panic.
Yeah, play basketball.
Laria, back outside Ishmael. 10 on the shot clock. Sizing up Martin. Martin, contested jumper, drains it. Long 2 on the play, 5-point lead again. About a half a second different shot clock, and game clock has been avoided by the Martin foul. Martin's second personal of the quarter.
And Kador Ahmad did a good job just cutting right in from the right side. McQuell Martin just leaning right in down to the top of the key.
For Ahmad, averaging 0.9 points per game, 0.8 rebounds on the campaign. Some of his first free throws this season being made on this trip for the senior. Again, one of the graduating players for the St. Clair Saints, honored earlier today. Can't make the second, however. Morgan on the glass. Shot clock is off for the Hawks.
Keep, dunk spot. Short corner, keep. Short corner.
Trying to set things up, the Hawks. Ishmael gets the slip screen to the corner for deep. No good. Can't beat the buzzer. At halftime, the Humber Hawks lead 42-38 over the St. Clair Saints for OCAA men's basketball action. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have more halftime coverage. You're watching Weed Digital Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
and why?
I want this to be perfect.
I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Welcome back to the Mott's On Time Express broadcast booth. We're at halftime. The Humber Hawks lead the St. Clair Saints 42-38. Co-head coach Max Sykes joining me right now, and you guys had a good control of the game in the first quarter, but things started to slow down in the second quarter. What did you take away from those 10 minutes?
In the second quarter, they were just outworking us, I think. They really turned on defensively. They really out-rebounded us on the offensive glass. You got to give credit to them. They really bounced back in the second quarter, and I think we need to get our energy back up to have a good, strong second half.
The hustle was there for those 10 minutes right there, but the problem that I saw right there was the transition. You guys put in some turnovers, and that caused Humber to come right back in. Just talk to us about the downfall of that and the hustle you guys displayed.
Yeah, we weren't really taking care of the ball very much. Like you said, in transition, we were just getting a little lackadaisical with it. You could say guys are tired all you want, but they got to use their head. They got to be smart with the ball. The hustle was there for our guys. We just got to show a little more energy up and down the court.
Glenn Willis-Paris leading scoring with 9 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, how big of a help has he been throughout all the first 20 minutes of the game?
Yeah, he's been huge for us. He's getting up and down the court better than he ever has. He's playing well. He's banging with their bigs. They're a good defensive team, so he's getting in low. And I mean, it's good that we're working the ball into him, and I'd like to see him get a little more time in the second half.
All right, Matt, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck with the second half. Co-head coach of the St. Clair Saints, Matt Sykes, just joined me. When we come back, we'll have more of our We Digital halftime coverage.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
We're back live here on We Digital Productions. Joining me is the assistant coach of the Humber Hawks in Shane Denny. And Shane, you guys had a really terrific second quarter after control went away from you guys in the first 10 minutes. I mean, how are you guys able to pick up the intensity and the hustle in the second quarter?
Well, we talked about playing our brand of basketball. And the first quarter, we didn't do that. And the second quarter, the objective was to get back to playing our brand and how we play and focusing more on us.
You know what's interesting, too, I'm looking at the bench scoring, and you guys were able to get the bench well involved. Leading scoring, Dwayne Lambert-Cador with 13 points. Talk to us about how he was able to get involved throughout that terrific second quarter.
It's just the beauty of team sports. And, you know, some of the best aspects of team sports is unlikely players are going to step up and make big plays and, you know, change the outcome of the quarter or the game. You know, Dwayne plays hard every practice. It's just a product of what he does in practice.
Absolutely. A season ago, you guys were OCAA silver medalists, and now this year, you guys are on the heels of at the top of the West Division again. Just talk to us about how challenging it is to try to go back to the podium in the OCAA championship.
Well, Humber has a history of championships and playing well, so it's an expectation. It's not the challenge every year. It's an expectation that's where we want to be. That's where we expect to be. And that's the philosophy we continue to encourage these guys with throughout practice, meetings, and games.
Absolutely. Good stuff, Shane.
All right.
Thank you for your time, and good luck in the second half.
All right.
Shane Denny, the assistant coach of the Humber Hawks, and we return. We'll have more coverage right here from the St. Clair College Sportsplex.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Welcome back, and Grad Week continues here in the St. Clair College campus, and joining me is the graduating senior of the men's basketball team, Michael Beal. A lot of accolades he has gathered in the last few years in a Saints uniform. Michael, thank you for your time, and of course, congratulations of all your success in the last few years. Just talk about your experience being a St. Clair Saints and how much it means to you.
St. Clair is a community of family all the way around. Welcoming from the first day when it comes to recruiting and everything like that. So it's been welcoming from day one. It's been an awesome experience. Had a great time with my teammates over the years, spending time at provincials, nationals, all things like that. And it's just been overall a great experience.
You're graduating from the ECE program, and you were elected a member of the SAA, the Student Athletic Association Board, as vice president. You'll continue as the president next year. Just talk about how much work is put into being the president over at the St. Clair branch.
It's a lot of work, but it comes with a lot of reward over the years. Putting a lot of time and to see the reward come back and the things that we do here at the Sportsplex and going to happen at the sports park, it's going to be well worth it, and I'm willing to put in tons of time with it for sure.
And honestly, you guys are doing a tremendous job with the Sportsplex and the new sports park over there, and we wish you all the best. And of course, congratulations once again on an outstanding career with the St. Clair Saints, and of course the Green Giants as well. Michael Beal just joined me right here, one of the graduating seniors here, part of St. Clair's Grad Week. Royal Church will rejoin me as we break down the stats and facts after you watch this.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College, it's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
Hello, Herman Moore here. Running down the field and catching touchdown passes for the Detroit Lions was always an incredible feeling. Now, being the best at my position was the goal every season. Never wanted to let my teammates or my coaches down. The competition was always a challenge, and it's one that I look forward to every game. I also know as a player for the Detroit Lions, we had many fans from southwestern Ontario. So on Tuesday, March 10th, I will be joining many great athletes, teams, and sports personalities of Windsor and Essex County as they compete for the coveted Westby Awards. I'm also thrilled to bring you some of my personal experiences as a professional athlete as I take to the stage as the keynote speaker for the evening. Now, it's going to be a night of highlights, anticipation, and celebration. So, be sure to get your tickets. Join me, Herman Moore, for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Welcome back to We Digital Productions coverage of OCAA basketball. Roy Chorch joins me in the Monster On Time Express broadcast booth. And I think the takeaway from the second quarter, Royal, was the fact that the bench outscored St. Clair. Bench scoring 30-15 at the end of the first half. That is huge, and the Humber Hawks are leaning towards the right direction with that.
Yes, I believe so, Aaron. Humber's always going to have a lot of depth, and they've shown that today. That's their marquee factor in the way they play the game. But I think at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter, they went on a 7-0 run. And that 7-0 run seemed to spark them. It seemed to give them more energy. And they just picked up their game. And St. Clair seemed to, get down a little bit. And I think that's the reason that Humber's up 4 at the half.
Here we go with the stats. 43% from the field were the Hawks. St. Clair shooting 34%. Three-pointers not a factor. Free throw line pretty close. But again, like the ladies' game, the turnovers and the points off of turnovers have been very instrumental in this game.
Yes, I believe so. And that's for teams of this caliber, of this skill level, 13 turnovers, we've talked about that before, Aaron, is a lot of turnovers for the first half. For a team like St. Clair, a good team, even 10 turnovers for Humber is a lot. But they play a fast game, so you can expect some turnovers.
We have 30 seconds left before we go to the commercial break. Quickly talk about the keys for the second half.
Well, I think St. Clair has to get their mojo back. They played really well for the better part of the first half, and they just need to, as I said, get their mojo, their confidence back, that they can play with these guys, because we've seen here today that they have the ability to compete with Humber. Humber's on a roll here. They picked up their energy level. St. Clair's got to pick their energy level up and get it up to and surpass Humber's.
All right, we'll see what happens here in the second half. The score at halftime, the Hawks 42, the St. Clair Saints 38. JP Justin Prince will rejoin me after you watch this.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and 4-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Windsor, Ontario, for more coverage of OCAA men's basketball, where it is a tight one. The Humber Hawks lead 42-38 with St. Clair Saints on We Digital Productions. Glad to have you back with us. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders in the Monson Time Express broadcast booth. Aaron, your thoughts after that first half, which seen a lot of defense, but in turn, a strong second quarter for Humber.
It was very frantic 10 minutes of play right there, but it worked out in Humber's favor. 43% from the field, 60% of the free throw line. The three-pointers aren't becoming a major difference into this game, JP, but again, it comes down to the bench points, because looking at the end of the first half, there's been only a total of 12 points from the starters. Fauzi Mohammed has been getting good looks, but the problem is the ball wouldn't go in the hole. Jordan Francis didn't get a lot of touches, but you look at Cy Samuels, Laria, and Morgan, the only guys from the starting crew to get points. So I think if Samson Downey wants to assure victory right here, keep on going for the bench and keep on doing what you're doing. But for somehow, some way, get Cy Samuels more involved in the game.
We'll see who can get involved in this third quarter as we're back and away. Penny lined up alongside Harmon, Willis, Paris, Davis, Showell, the 5. Willis Paris in the corner. Gives it off to Davis for the fadeaway, yes! Davis had a quiet first half with just those 5 total points.
6 rebounds for him too, but I find it interesting how these guys could just stay in the midair for so long and balance their shot. Rebound.
Willis Paris on that set rebound, taken back up for the Saints. Give it up, Petty. Petty. Off to the corner, Harmon. Harmon moves it back up to the top, guarded by Morgan, back to Willis Paris. 8 on the shot clock. Petty drives it baseline, draws the blocking foul. Samuels now in a bit of foul trouble with his 3rd personal. Or check that offensive foul on Petty. They say it was a drawn charge down that baseline.
And Dalen Davis with another tough shot to go. But again, foul trouble is beginning to rear its head into this game. Under a minute gone here in the 3rd.
Setting things up, the spin, the drive, no good. Tapped out of bounds off of St. Clair, off the right hand of Willis Paris. Humber Hawks have a 3rd starting 5 on the floor. Mohamed, Samuels, Morgan rounding out the 5. On the court is Francis alongside Laria. Laria makes the jumper.
That is too easy. Nobody on Laria.
Harmon. Swung around to Showell. Showell back to Davis. Back to Petty. Outside. Off the front of the rim. Picked up on the rebound by Francis. Back to Mohamed. Pulls up from deep. Drains his first of the night.
And it's about time Fauzi gets on the scoring chart. Like I said, he needs to get more involved because he's getting more touches with the ball. This could be a good testament of how things shape out for him.
Showell in response, can't get it to go. Hard rebound by Morgan. Wait, Lissel. Petty on the foul. Second this quarter for Darnell Petty. But that 3 by Mohamed we just seen moments ago puts him just 1 shy of setting a new single-season record for Humber from deep.
Yeah, you can see right there, he's parked right down to the corner. The same Shallow keeping a sharp eye on him.
Samuels passed along, bouncing around. Laria. And a travel called, this time against Francis. Back the other direction, they'll go just past 2 minutes into the 3rd quarter. 47-40, Humber is the score. Showell, back to Petty. Takes advantage of the switch. Showell from deep, just spins out.
Heartbreak City.
Samuels on the rebound, taken back up once more by Francis. Down low it goes, yes sir. Laria. 9-point advantage, the largest lead of the game prior to that. 5 for the Hawks. Harmon, off to Petty. Move back to Showell to Willis Paris. Davis from deep. No good. St. Clair wanting to go outside, it seems, for a majority of the possessions.
Yeah, but they're ice cold from downtown.
Humber, meanwhile, going inside. Laria with the foul drawn.
Simple. Glenn Willis Paris committing. But that's a foul.
That will set up the free throws now for Laria. Third-year player from Rexdale. We talked about a little bit before, averaging double-digit points entering this weekend, Aaron.
Absolutely. He's been a fantastic player for the Humber Hawks organization this year. What more can you ask for?
Well, there's the second free throw, so that answers the question I was about to fill in there. Penny, meanwhile, takes it up. Given to Josiah Deere, coming into the ball game on that stoppage for St. Clair. Showell gives it across to Deere. Deere steps to his right. off the back of the rim, yes.
If there's anybody that could get St. Clair out of the scoring funk is Josiah Deere. He could shoot from outside and he could shoot in as well.
Morgan off the front of the rim, meanwhile, rebounded inside a cluster of Hawks. Davis, pass through three defenders, stolen away by Mohammed. Mohammed, sizing up, down low. Samuels with the mismatch, yes. And the lead's up to double-digit points for the first time today for either side. Deere draws the pump fake, meanwhile, down the baseline, can't get it. Petty, second chance drops.
Honestly, it was a smart move for Josiah Deere not to go for the three, knowing the three-point woes that St. Clair has. He drove it right inside and found somebody else.
Laria on the miss, Showell on the drive up. Deere again cuts in. Back around to Showell. The shot no good. Morgan on the rebound once more. Samuels will take it up. Given to the corner, Mohammed. Mohammed taking it in. Moving it back out. Passing it back. Laria, yes.
Doesn't get any prettier than that. Fauzi Mohammed setting him up for the behind-the-back pass.
Hurry up offense as Deere takes advantage. Barber's chair timeout coming up, it appears. Yes, indeed. This one called by Humber, as they want to discuss some things here after seeing some defensive breakdowns, especially in the last possession.
Yeah, the hurry-up offense worked out for St. Clair this time. It's a rarity when it comes to this game, but Humber just sagged off defensively, and now they have to regroup.
The next webcast for the St. Clair Saints here at the Sportsplex will be women's playoff volleyball. That's on Saturday, February the 23rd. The opponent is to be determined, though, Aaron, as that's against the Eastern Division at 3 p.m.
Absolutely. St. Clair's Lady Saints have been doing a terrific job in volleyball this year, and for them to host the playoff game once again pays off for Jimmy L. Turk and company.
Indeed here. At this point, though, Humber wanting to clinch this here. That should be checked at 22nd in terms of that dating positioning, but either way, St. Clair wanting to get a victory here in men's action, trailing by 9.
Yes, and they're trying to find some way to get back into this game. They're going right to the hole. It's something you have to expect from them because a lot is on the line for them. Second place versus fourth place in the Western Division. Remember, Humber can do no worse than 5th. St. Clair can do no worse than 6th place. But getting the home game for the crossover playoff game is very instrumental before going to the provincials over in Lambton.
Remember, this is the last regular season home game for St. Clair this season in 2019-20. Deere with the steal. Perching halfway to go to the third quarter. Lynch takes it up. Showell, Willis, Paris, Hall round out the 5. Showell comes around the corner. Guarded by Mohammed. Has the switch on to Samuels. Pulls up and Samuels is face and drains it. 2 points added onto the score sheet for Showell. Mohammed given back off again. The drive draws the offensive foul. These the first minutes, mind you, for Cathcart, who had 2 personal fouls, including a technical in the first half.
And one more look at Cathcart going right in. And Jawan Lynch just holding his ground.
Third personal against Cathcart. First team foul of the quarter. 0-2 brought back to the game. Kickball violation against Morgan. Again, been very impressed by the quote-unquote brand of basketball discussed at halftime with you that we've seen from Humber all game today.
Well, you know what? It's unselfish basketball, and it's like what assistant coach Denny said. You know, this is unselfish basketball. The ability to get everybody involved works out. Shallow downtown.
Shallow with the big bucket. Just moments ago, you seen on the replay with the 2, now with the 3 added on to the board. 55-51 Hawks stolen away nearly. 2 players jump on it. They say jump ball. Possession arrow stays Humber's way. And Willis Parrish tried to take advantage of Morgan losing possession there. And Morgan getting the clarification on the call from the veteran official, Paul Carter. Samuels will inbound the ball, 13 on the shot clock. Samuels gives it to the baseline. Blocked by Willis Paris. Tap back out for the second chance. 6 on the shot clock once more. Morgan cuts through 3. Saints, no. Bounced around. And they say a 24-second shot clock violation. Humber thought that hit the rim.
We might be able to see and look back at this. Okay, shot clock's winding down. First off, that big block from Willis Paris. That's just a man holding his ground.
And yes, they will overturn the call to 11 seconds on the shot clock.
They shaved 3 seconds off the shot clock because of that.
That in turn means the shot clock should have been reset before. Samuels takes advantage of the cut.
Humber getting a second chance, and they capitalized on it.
6-point lead for the Hawks, under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Willis Paris on the pick and roll. Hall on the drive. Hall draws the whistle. And some hard defense down low. Morgan in the vicinity.
Was again through the traffic was Miles Hall. And you could see a little bit of hand check from Kevin O2.
It is indeed O2. O2 now with one personal. Morgan with a personal. 3, remember, for Cathcart. Second one is good from Hall. 4-point lead for the Hawks, 57-53. On the outside, Mohammed. Screen with Morgan. Mohammed gets it to drop.
And again, he was one of those players I said really needed to step it up for the blue and gold. And this guy's stepping it up from long range.
And that is a new record for Humber from threes. Alley-oop gets it to drop. My goodness, and 1.
That's just beautiful.
With the fingertip on the alley-oop, 2 again.
It works out. It works out. Let's run that back. First off, the look from Fauzi Muhammad for the downtown shot. And he knew it was going in. But man, when you look back at this alley-oop, it's a basic song and dance for Humber. Look at that. You got your alley. Lynch trying to tip it up. Lost control of it. But the ball just rolls right in. That's what we call a jelly roll.
And that free throw drops to complete the jelly roll and 1 10-point advantage for the Hawks. Shawo driving it in the lane through 2 defenders for the bucket.
Now everybody's shooting contested shots.
It's been like that all day, hasn't? With the women's game and now the men's game. Harmon, meanwhile, defending Morgan. Tries to reach in, calling an offensive foul. Morgan's second personal. And have to take a look at this.
I think the officials are saying it's based off the elbow.
Towards the jaw area. That's the 13th foul for the Hawks. With under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter and what has been an interesting one. Harmon off the Shawo. And a whistle blown up the court. Hawks wanted to travel.
They got it.
And yes, indeed, it is, yes. Substitution once more on the floor. Coming into the game is Ishmael. Taken back up by Mohammed, setting up history. Down low, it's out of bounds. Huge for Mohammed. Mind you, on that triple, again, as we talked about, just 2 3-pointers shy of setting a new single-season record for Humber. He'll play defense on Shallow, who can't make his own triple. Rebound picked up by Cathcart. Moved up now by Martin. The former Lancer Back outside. Cathcart for three. Yes, he's got it. And the lead slowly growing again for Humber, Aaron.
They've been finding good looks, going inside and then out.
Deer. Back to Shawo. 8 on the shot clock. Loses the dribble again. Martin, one-handed pass to Mohammed. Mohammed, the high float off of Martin's hand into the bench. Petty back into the ball game as St. Clair calls a barber's chair timeout, their first of the second half. St. Clair trails 66 to 55. And my goodness, what a ball game.
Well, this is similar to what we saw in the second quarter. Humber gaining momentum, finding ways to swing the ball around and get the shot to go. And St. Clair just keeps on throwing the ball into the hands of the Humber Hawks. And Humber just taking advantage of it as they see their lead balloon to 11.
And you're taking a look at O2. He's one of the players that's been having a stellar game. 17 points on the day so far, Aaron.
Absolutely. O2 has been doing all the dirty work for Humber today. You have to imagine how tired he is after all of his hustle.
And the two highlight reel plays. The alley-oop slam and the alley-oop fingertip. And one play today.
We're probably going to see that on the highlight films in the days to come. As we're winding down the 2019-20 OCAA campaign.
Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. St. Clair with the ball. Harmon, Davis, Deer, Hall, Petty, the 5. Petty watches as Hall passes it away. Mohammed passes into space. Deer takes the space away. Petty takes it back up. Off to Deer. From long range, yes, he's got it. From just at the edge of the volleyball court. Mohammed from the same spot. Yes, he's got it. How about that for training buckets from the same spot?
Reminds me of that song, anything you could do, I could do better.
Harmon to Hall, meanwhile, breaks through some pressure. Mohammed on the defense. Hall dribbles by him, loses the ball. Taken back up by Cathcart. Wide open for the right-handed layup.
He lost control of the ball. Miles Hall right down on the traffic.
Petty, meanwhile, gets it off to Deer. From even deeper, no good. Well, that was about 2 steps deeper than the previous three-point bomb.
And again, St. Clair trying their best to keep up with the Hawks. As we see Josiah Deer connecting on a 3, and just 10 seconds later, Fauzi Mohammed getting into the three-point range. He has 9 for the afternoon.
And Mohammed, all of them from deep to put himself into the history books for the Humber Hawks program. A heck of a performance, a heck of a career for Mohammed, and a heck of a season. Outside, it's no good from Cathcart, meanwhile. And they say it's off of Hall, who is watching it chase out. Substitution coming in, Samuels. Back in. He'll come in for Martin. Still, somebody needs to inbound the basketball for the Hawks, which will be Cathcart. Shot clock is off, 13.3 seconds remaining in the third. Given to Morgan. Morgan sizing up. 6 to work with, fading back, off the back rim. Picked up by Hall. 1 second, leaning forward, just off the side of the rim. After 3 quarters of play, the Humber Hawks in control, 71-58 the score. How will the fourth quarter fare? We'll have to see. You're watching Weed Eater Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, we digital.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College. It's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Windsor, Ontario, where the Humber Hawks lead 71-58 over the St. Clair Saints. Start of the fourth quarter underway. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders in the Monson Time Express broadcast booth. And man, oh man, it was a strong third quarter for Humber. And it starts strong as well with a St. Clair turnover. St. Clair with 21 of them so far today.
Yeah, you got that right, JP, and it's very interesting to see how things are going to play out in the fourth quarter. Foul called by Barry Cullen.
Yeah, Barry Cullen calling the first personal against St. Clair of the quarter. That goes on Dalen Davis. Davis's personal, first personal. The drive inside, Morgan drains it. At this point, yeah, what does St. Clair do to try and bounce back and close the largest lead of the ball game, which is right now?
Well, they need to relax and start going for the close passes. You don't need to pass with those cross-court passes because that just prompts turnovers.
And two, might be making some of those types of shots. Ball poked out of bounds. Deere not able to make the outside corner shot.
Yeah, we saw a lot of three-point attempts from the St. Clair Saints. 9 of them, only 2 of them going down. And those 2 came from Desai Deere, who has 13 points, the leading scorer for St. Clair.
Harmon this time does string the triple to bring the gap down to 12. Samuels gives it off to Cathcart. Cathcart drives his way by Deere. Pass back to Mohammed. Back down the baseline. Cathcart over Deere, no good. Josiah Deere with the rebound. Taken up by Harmon. Harmon scans the floor. Josiah Deere with it. Deere to Willis Paris. Back to Davis. Davis spins in. Can't get it to drop. Mohammed on the rebound. Petty on the reach. And it looked like St. Clair again taking the foul instead of allowing the transition in bucket. Petty's done that a couple times today.
He picks up his second foul of the afternoon.
Second team foul for St. Clair as well. 90 seconds into the fourth quarter, 73-61 Humber the score. Drive by O2, stolen away by Harmon. The steal back draws the whistle.
And St. Clair needs to be aware of their surroundings right now. Humber's always right behind them going for a quick steal. And it looks like Jalen Harmon is shaken up.
Train staff coming out as Shao immediately will come into the ball game after that. Again, there was contact between him, Mohammed, and O2 on that play. Let's take a look.
It's a good strip from Harmon. And look, O2 was just right behind him, clipped his leg right there.
Harmon making his way to the sideline at the moment. Willis Paris from the corner, foot on the line, no good. Davis draws the whistle on the pump fake. Continuation says 2 free throws coming up.
And that's how St. Clair was able to take the game away from Sheridan. Just those second chance boards. As we'll have another look as Dalen Davis pops right out, spins around Morgan, and snagged down that rebound.
So again, Davis to the strike to shoot for 2, and it's been a quiet day. 7 points, 6 turnovers. Yes, 6. That's the most of any player today.
And that's an issue for St. Clair as they're near the home stretch of the season.
Remember, this is the last home game of the season for them. Then they go on the road to take on Redeemer and Conestoga. By the way, volleyball action concluded at Humber's campus. 3 straight sets to 0 over the St. Clair Saints. Humber, a perfect 18-0.
Great
Bucket is
reverse.
good for the Hawks.
Great reverse from Jalen Morgan.
Morgan's been doing that parts of today. 13 points. Petty drives it into Morgan. Wanted the whistle, doesn't get it. Willis Paris taps it to his coach and out of bounds. By the way, for the men's team for volleyball action, that loss drops them to 8-10 on the season after the straight sets loss.
And the Humber Hawks were able to be successful in volleyball action today. 3-1 win for the ladies and a 3-0 win for the men's Hawks.
Outside, the triple, it's good. Francis.
Doesn't get any better than that when you get an open look down at the corner.
And a travel call this time on the Saints.
And St. Clair just breaking down immediately. That has to prompt a timeout.
None coming. There is 2 Bombers sure timeouts remaining for each side in this 4th quarter. As the Hawks have the largest lead of the game, 16 points. Samuels, give it to O2. O2 passes it right to Showell. Showell with the right hand, giving a Deer for 3. Yes, sir.
He's been fire from 3-point range. Remember, had 13 points at the end of the quarter, and he adds 3 more.
16 points overall on the day today. Mohammed backs up. Back to Mohammed. To the high post. Morgan. Back to O2. Puts it up over Petty's face. No. Samuels puts it back in.
What a soft touch. He just changed direction, and Samuels is able to pick up his 6th point of the game.
The Hawks coaching staff still wanting this team to play as hard as they can defensively. Deer over top his man, can't get it to go. Samuels again on the glass. Moved up to O2. Passed along to Morgan. Morgan fades back for the swish. And there's the Barbers sure timeout. The second to last for St. Clair in this half.
And Humber just keeps on swinging the ball around. That's all you need to do. Trust in your teammates. Remember, that's what the assistant coach of the Humber Hawks was telling me about. It's a team effort. When you play unselfish, when you swing the ball around, when you find good looks, you take advantage of that. And the Humber Hawks have been doing that, and now they have their biggest lead of the ball game.
82-65. Hawks the advantage. And it's been a tough one. The rebounding also has been popping up, especially in the second half, too. Hawks, one of the top teams in the OCAA, but 49.3 of them. St. Clair, about 44 coming into today's game.
And St. Clair hasn't had a lead in quite some time. They were up 19-16 at the end of 1, but that second quarter was basically the key. It was like the ladies' game when Mile Campbell Johnson went off in the second quarter, and now we're seeing a little bit of a similar thing happening here in this game. Once Humber turned on the Jets in the second quarter, they didn't turn back at all.
And they have been in cruise control this second half. To the point where some of the female players dancing in the stands, looking to try and watch along for a victory today. Still 6:20 to go in the 4th quarter, though. 82-65 Humber. Davis draws the whistle. Back to the stripe goes Dalen Davis. That was after the drive through a sea of Humber Hawks.
And they need some sort of surge from Dalen Davis, and this is the way to start things off.
Samuels' 3rd personal, the 3rd team foul.
Actually, no. Let Francis inbound. Si, you get to your spot. You get to your spot. Let Francis inbound.
First free throw, no good. Even with this advantage, lots of things on the minds of some of the players, including points for and points against.
Absolutely. That's one of the tie-breaking factors in this. That's why Samson Downey is saying keep on playing, don't let up, because prior to today, 1,673 points for, 1,471 points against.
And compare that to Redeemer, where it's 1,643, 1,486 for them. Humber, it's nearly identical compared to the Redeemer and Humber specifically.
That's right.
19 on the shot clock for the Hawks.
And keep in mind, if St. Clair loses this, they are going to be in a tie with the Sheridan Bruins with identical records.
And in that case, Sheridan has the points for advantage. Points into the bucket for the Hawks. Shallow. Give him to Willis Paris. Willis Paris over top his man, again no good. Samuels keeps it inbounds. Chucked along to 0-2. 0-2. Draws contact. Coming, and the foul again.
Everything coming up roses for the Humber Hawks, and Kevin O2 getting the continuation, the body, the bucket, and the free throw.
It's been a star performance for the player to watch for the Humber Hawks. Now up to 20 points on the game.
He woke up in the second half.
Indeed. Davis down low, yes.
And he continues to impress me with his footwork.
0-2 quickly gets down the floor. Moved up to Samuels. Moved along to the corner. Mohammed passed along to 0-2. Good ball movement to Morgan. Cut swish. Morgan knew that was going in the second and went up. And the Boo Birds starting to drop from the stands. Approaching halfway to go in the fourth. Deer, no good on the contested layup. Tapped around to 0-2. Slowing things down is Francis. Morgan up at the Saints logo. 12 on the shot clock. Driving along. Passed along. Samuels off the top. The corner. This time too long. Deer on the board. Davis looks to take it up. Off the Deer. Again deep. Inside the corners of the volleyball logos. No good. Second chance. Shallow off to Petty. He takes the corner three down the baseline. No. Shallow with the third chance. Deer with the long shot off the top. No.
Yeah, they're running out of gas from three-point land. They have to adjust.
And do you think that's the factor of it being a back-to-back from a Saturday night to a Sunday afternoon game, or what else do you think is the factor?
Well, I think the fatigue is a factor too. You're not getting a 24-hour turnaround, as the three is an air ball for the Humber Hawks. So you're talking about a near 12 to 16-hour thing.
Morgan that time makes contact with the hand of Petty. And that is his third personal. Mohammed making his way to discuss things as Lynch and Hall come in.
Fozi Mohammed, the more he gets touches with the ball, the more it enhances the teamwork of the Humber Hawks. And you could see Jalen Morgan just keeps on ringing it up for the blue and gold.
Cathcart and Ishmael coming in. As they wait on the sideline to come in after the free throws from Petty. St. Clair trailing big time. Picked up by Deer for a second chance opportunity. Pass to Hall, intercepted. 0-2 with the right hand. Again, lays it in.
And again, it doesn't get prettier than stealing the ball in the air and just finishing real strong.
Deer through the double, passed out of bounds, and that will bring Cathcart and Ishmael in. To the bench goes Francis. 0-2 also getting a chance to rest Labrador in.
And 0-2 with nobody in front of him, getting the two to go.
Stellar game, 22 points on the day. Willis Paris chucks it up for three, this time gets it to go.
One of the positive points of today's game has been Glenn Willis Paris as he racks up his 10th point of the afternoon.
Yeah, especially with some of the blocks that he's been able to put up and some of the threes when he's been able to drop them. Down low, it's good. Ishmael. Taken up by Hall. 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hall, no good off the front rim. Morgan chucks it up to Cathcart. Cathcart slams it down. Give him some jumping jacks to do.
And the style points.
Petty looking for his own style points instead, walks into traffic. Tapped out of bounds, St. Clair possession.
I like Humber's approach. 2 men down to the basket, just meeting St. Clair over there, and look out, it's showtime for Daquan Cathcart.
That shook the whole stanchion. That's how hard that dunk was. Second chance for Willis Paris, meanwhile, is good. They showed that style from the opening shoot-around for today. It's part of warm-ups. Able to show that flair 3 times over today, Humber has. Ishmael gets tied up with Willis Paris. Hawks keep the possession arrow with 7 on the shot clock. Samuels out of the ball game. Back in is Martin. We talked a little bit about Martin. Your thoughts on him as a player, especially with his past experience?
Well, you know what, looking at him in person, you know, I get more and more impressed at his efforts as he misses the fadeaway. But still, he's able to add more and more to his arsenal. Varied shots. He's able to get back on defense. And again, the second player to score 300 points in a season.
Willis Paris no good. That was in reference to Morgan for those watching along, as Ishmael misses the shot. Chucked back in by Morgan, out of bounds.
And when there's style points, there's hustle points as Morgan tried to keep it in bound.
Indeed, and the bench is starting to clear. Javante Mitchell coming in, Bailey in as well. Lynch now onto the floor as well, a part of these mixtures.
And Humber is 1 minute and 45 seconds away from climbing right back top of second place. 14 and 5, St. Clair dropping to 13 and 5.
Deer, no good. And St. Clair was in range to come away with a victory for much of the first half. Just couldn't perform in this third quarter onward once things got to double digits.
Absolutely.
Bounced in by the Hawks. And with it being under 2 minutes to play, more substitutions coming in, and the full bench is cleared. Look who's on for St. Clair. Munstad, Adrian Gunther in. Whoa, 2 looks for his cape.
Well, you know what? Why not? You proved yourself here this afternoon, 98 to 73. You deserve to sit down, big man. Fantastic effort from him.
Drive inside by Hall, does not count for the N1, bounces too hard to the left. On the bright side, St. Clair's in the bonus for the next minute and 10 seconds, but trails 98-73. Again, they had a lot of hustle for this game today to end grad weekend and their home schedule for the regular season, and had that big one against Sheridan. Again, just couldn't come up on top to this one.
That's right, and we want to take this opportunity, as this is the final regular season game of the 2020 campaign, to thank the viewers for tuning in. Thanks to the great crew of We Digital Productions, because playoff time, it's coming. Starting with volleyball a week from now, and then we got the big provincials here as the Lady Saints will host that.
Gonna be exciting amounts of action for sure. Ishmael, meanwhile, watch it swan around. Lambricador, pass on to Ishmael, 5 on the shot clock, driving inside and 1. And another and 1 in the second half by Humber.
Well, you know what? Khalid Ismail had a lot of space with him. Did you see how he reacted the moment he saw that space?
Couldn't complete the end one, but 100 points scored by the Hawks over the St. Clair Saints. In the corner, it's good. That brings a roar from the crowd. That is Mackay Barnett. .22-point lead for the Hawks. Stolen away by Lynch. Lynch off to Barnett again. From three again. No good. Hawks have it poked out. They say it's off the touch. That time of Bailey. 15.1 seconds left. 1 second different shot clock and game clock on the home schedule for St. Clair. Remember, 2 more road games to end off their season. Stolen away by Martin. And they will run things on down. The Humber Hawks take home the W. 178 is the final. Post-game coverage with Aaron Sanders and Royal Church coming up after these messages. You're watching We Digital Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario. Your final score, 178.
Mont's On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
.178 is the final score as the Humber Hawks move up to 14-5. St. Clair drops to 13-5. I'm Aaron Sanders with Royal Church in the Mott's On Time Express broadcast booth. Second half, key difference. Second quarter, huge difference as the Humber Hawks did not look back at all from there.
No, Humber was really running today, pushing the ball up the floor, Aaron. Their transition game was awesome. They started to play defense, and they got really excited and really had lots of energy today. And St. Clair just couldn't keep up, and it was an old-fashioned butt kicking.
Absolutely. Leading scorers for the Hawks, Jalen Morgan waking up in the second half, 19 points. Josiah Deere with 16 for the St. Clair Saints, and now it's a matter to see if St. Clair will win the rest of their games in hopes of getting a home crossover playoff game. So that's it from here. That's it for the regular season as far as our coverage is concerned. Be sure to tune in next week as the St. Clair Saints women's volleyball team will host a home playoff game. It will be against the La Cité Coyotes. That game will be set for 3 p.m. here at the Sportsplex from We Digital Productions. And next time we'll see you for basketball coverage, most likely the Women's Provincial Championship on March 6th through the 8th. So be sure to tune in and log on the website to see the playoff information. Final score once again, 100-78, Hawks over Saints. We'll see you again very soon. And on behalf of Real Church, JP, Justin Prince, the entire We Digital crew, I'm Aaron Sanders. So long.